Good evening, Gemini. So I just wanted to explain a little bit about Lenormand while I'm shuffling, those of you who don't know. But this is going to be your 2020 forecast for Gemini. And while I'm shuffling, before I get straight to it, I'm going to explain a little bit about Lenormand. So I am gonna be using this Lenormand deck. Excuse me. And then also a tarot deck to clarify, and then a little piece of extra advice at the end of the reading with the oracle cards, and then some dice. I'm gonna let you know how I'll use the dice, but that's gonna be at the end. Okay, so what do we have for Gemini for the year of 2020? What do we have coming up for Gemini at the year of 2020? So, okay, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to lay out the cards. I'm not gonna show you each card individually because that would just take way too long, but I am gonna show you like the ones that pop out at me just based on my intuition. I'll show you the ones that pop out. So I'm just gonna lay all of them out. And I just wanted to explain while I'm laying the cards out. So there are character cards in the Lenormand, character cards that represent certain people, but this is a general reading that I'm giving you, and it's also genderless. It's not gender specific, so I'm just gonna be using the character cards as a guide. Okay, so we have these cards laid out, this Lenormand spread. Just look at it. Okay, so at the beginning of 2020, it looks like you're gonna have a so you are at the end of 2019. There's gonna be like a peaceful phase. You are gonna be at a peaceful time, represented by the anchor. In the very beginning of 2020, it's gonna be not necessarily peaceful, but excuse me, I meant stable. And it's gonna be a very stable time represented by this anchor. That being said, okay, I don't want to scare anyone with this card. So traditionally the snake represents either the other woman, maybe a mistress, or maybe some jealousy, envy, or maybe another woman is after your man, traditionally. But with this general reading, I'm just gonna do something a little more neutral, a little more general. So this, to me, represents envy, maybe some haters, basically haters you need to shake off. And there's gonna be quite a bit of you needing to deal with that. There's gonna be a few haters, maybe like or maybe the same person who you're gonna repeatedly have to kind of like deal or shake off, basically. So you're gonna be dealing with that a little bit in the beginning of the year, but this is very positive because after you deal with that, you're gonna enter a period of great prosperity, represented by this garden here. It's gonna be very, very prosperous for you. New endeavors, like new projects, new associations, just extreme prosperity. Okay, so just if you have some haters in the beginning of the year that are doubting you or throwing shade at you, just shake it off because it's going somewhere really positive. And then that prosperity is going to be sealed by, so this represents a contract or some form of document that's binding. So it's either going to be like business related, project related, work related, maybe even romantically, romance related. But this is going to be a binding document, and that prosperity is going to be sealed with that. So here we have a bear. This kind of represents, like someone who's like slow and stable, getting like Taurus energy, maybe like a similar like slow and stable energy, almost like fatherly, sort of like, if not like motherly, like motherly protective, like a mother bear. It could be either or, but that's gonna emerge somehow. That's gonna be significant in the middle of 2020. And then here we have like a masculine figure. Once again, though, the character cards, this is a general reading, so just ignore the genders. So I take it that this represents you. Maybe you have like some inner, so you as a Gemini, you have like multiple facets of your personality. You're very multifaceted as an individual. So if you have like a mother bear, father bear type sort of energy in the middle of the year, you're gonna kind of like go into spiritual energy I see here. So this is represented by the lamp. So spiritual energy, you're going to tap in, you're going to transition from that mother bear, father bear, like that slow, steady, like mother, father bear energy to like this spiritual energy represented by the eye and the lamp. It's spiritual cleansing energy. Excuse me, yeah, it's cleansing. It's a cleansing energy you're going to enter into. And after you cleanse that energy out, it's going to lead you to a promise of some kind represented by this ring. So a promise of some kind, maybe even like a closing of a deal. Yeah, so that's probably what it means, like an agreement or closing of a situation or a deal. And that will lead to a little bit of a hurdle, a little bit of an obstacle to overcome here. So I think, so that was a little convoluted in the middle of the year, but I think to summarize, you're gonna take that like steady energy that you have in the beginning of the middle of the year, and then you're gonna transition into cleansing out your energy. So in the middle of the year, there is like right smack dab in the middle of 2020, you're gonna need to go into cleansing spiritually, like spiritually cleansing energy. And so what you can do, I think what helps sometimes is, okay, so like I'm wearing like evil eye rings. You can also get like Hamsa, like the hand. I don't know if you've seen that. But if that makes you feel better, I mean, even as a placebo effect, that can help. Also, burning some white sage, or those of you who are like super superstitious, which I don't recommend this to everyone, but you can even like sprinkle salt in your entranceways, like if you want to get real kind of like eccentric. But after you clear that spiritual energy out, it's a good thing, because you're gonna head to once again the ring, which is like a promise, like a closing out, a settling of a deal, and then that's gonna lead to maybe like a hurdle to overcome. So if that deal leads you to a new endeavor, you are going to have obviously new hurdles to overcome, because that's with every new endeavor, obviously. And then at the end of the year, we have a book. So it looks like you may need to study something new, or maybe like learn a new craft, learn a new skill, or hone an existing skill, like upgrade your skill maybe. And that's going to lead to, I think maybe that might be the hurdle actually. So the hurdle, I think, in the middle of the year that's going to start is probably maybe this upgrading, either obtaining a new skill, upgrading a new skill, or studying something new. That's going to be the hurdle. But once you get over that, like learning something new, learning a new skill, or upgrading a new skill, it's going to lead to this happiness. It's the sun, so it's basically rewarding energy. You're going to reach just a really happy phase in your life after that little accomplishment of yours of learning a new skill. So this, at the end of the year, this dog represents loyalty. It may also represent a dog, like a real dog that maybe you have, that you have a close tie to. But at the end of the year, it's saying to maybe really like either maybe like gift your dog with something like special maybe at the end of the year, like a Christmas present or like a New Year's little thing, little gift or what have you. But then this also represents in a more general way somebody in your life who's really loyal. So maybe if you have a loyal friend, they'll be there to cheer you on after your little accomplishment of learning a new skill or upgrading a new skill. That friend, if this represents that loyal friend, is going to be loyal and they're going to cheer you on. Or it could alternatively, thirdly, represent like you needing to maybe, not needing to, but I think maybe it's encouraging you at the end of the year to show loyalty, to tap into your like loyal energy that you have for your loved ones, because that is going to lead you to definitely a small batch of luck, small but significant, represented by the clover. You're going to be very lucky at the end of the year once you teach yourself that new skill, upgrade your skills, upgrade your knowledge, once again represented by that book. It's going to lead you to luck, so be confident in that. And then also stay loyal to your friends, because they're going to support you. Actually, after looking at this, I think in general, it just leads to that accomplishment and you not only tapping into yourself as a loyal person, but like supporting, maybe even like being supported and supporting those that you're loyal to. So there's a mutual loyalty that tap in, because that's gonna bring you luck. And then here we have all of that at the very, very end of the year. So this is the very, very end of 2020. It's gonna lead you to travels, or maybe like a new place, or maybe even this doesn't necessarily mean traveling to a physical place. It could even mean like traveling, but I mean, associated with this luck card, it could mean like maybe an upgrade in your life, or like kind of traveling to like a new maybe phase of your life, a new milestone, or like just even a promotion, or maybe if you're like in the corporate world, like a new department or like a new something. But you're gonna like switch realms and it's gonna be lucky. So that's a really good ending of 2020. Right, so moving on, I'm gonna clarify once again, like I said with these tarot cards, I want to clarify, so at the beginning of the year, if there was anything negative in this reading, it was represented by the snake. So some envy here, it's going to be kind of like annoying to deal with, represented by the whip, you know, repetition, but that's going to turn out positive, obviously, with this garden, prosperity, which will be bonded with this contract or document or some form of contractual agreement. All right, so we have the Eight of Rods. I just wanted to ask for advice on how to deal with those haters in the beginning of the year, because that's going to be a little bit cloying here, you know, represented by the rod. It's kind of, you know, repetitive. So the Eight of Rods, not entirely sure. I don't remember what that means, so bear with me. I'm going to look it up because I want to make sure that I'm giving you the most correct information. So, oh, what do you know? It's right here. Okay, so the Eight of Rods. These rods fly through the air like javelins. The pace of change is speeding up. Don't be left behind. Could indicate an unexpected voyage. So I'm thinking that okay, so this is pretty, it's like screaming at me. I think my intuition is telling me that with this Eight of Rods and those haters represented by the snake, or maybe one person who's a hater who just keeps coming after you, like maybe throwing you shade or giving you just like negative energy, they feel like left behind, I think, because they see the stability, okay, that you have at the beginning of the year, this anchor, the stability that you feel within yourself, that you're striving to improve or striving to stabilize yourself maybe, and they're going to feel jealous, and they're going to feel left behind, or maybe they're going to feel like they're just, you know, they're just jealous, like they feel like they're not, or they're maybe like insecure, and they're going to have some like inner struggles within themselves to kind of come to terms with maybe feeling left behind. Maybe they feel like you're bettering your life and they're not, and so they just feel the need to hate on you. So you're going to need to shake that off. But once again, I just want to remind you that is going to lead to prosperity, a lot of prosperity, great positive energy, and you're going to, and that's going to be binded by an agreement of some kind, like some kind of binding agreement of some kind, and so that's really, really great. And I also wanted to clarify, so we already clarified the obstacle with learning a new skill. Let's see here, what else can I clarify that's maybe with like the spiritual cleansing and like the launching of the new endeavor represented by the ring, or the launching of a new or like a promise or some sort of like deal or agreement that's gonna materialize. I want to find some more info about that. So, oh, okay, here we go. So the Hierophant. Okay. So this is usually like a religious figure or spiritual figure of some kind. So what I'm thinking is, okay, so it goes together with the spiritual cleansing card here. We have, so what I'm thinking is that with this lamp and the spiritual cleansing that accompanies it with the Hierophant card, and then with the appearance of the bear, which represents like a slow and steady tough kind of like mother, father, bear mentality, like survival mentality, and thinking that this once again is saying like spiritually connect with yourself, like really spiritually cleanse, not only cleanse, do away with, but connect with yourself spiritually, with all facets of yourself, because I know with Gemini you have many facets of yourself. You're very multi-layered in personality, so you're gonna need to like spiritually connect with all those facets, cleanse anything that doesn't belong, and clean out the air. And it's going to be a very spiritual time for you in the middle of 2020. Extremely spiritual, Gemini. But after that, it's going to lead you to, once again, a new promise, a new agreement represented by the ring here. And then that, once again, is going to lead you to learning a new skill. And that's going to be a successful endeavor. Whatever the outcome is, it's going to be good and successful. So be confident about learning or upgrading your knowledge or your skills. So I just want to clarify maybe about this, like at the very end of 2020, like you moving into a new phase, or maybe even traveling, or you're going into a new place in your life, whether that be physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. And I really want to clarify that card for you. So let's see. Okay, so what do we have for Gemini in 2020 at the end of the year? Okay, that's just too many cards. Actually, this one, wait, let me just shuffle again so then I can get more of a clear, okay, so what do we have for Gemini at the end of 2020, with a new phase in their life, with a new endeavor that's happening, at the end of 2020? Okay, so no cards are popping out at the moment, but, oh, okay, there is one right there. So, okay. We have the Emperor. All right, so this is pretty obvious to me. Just my intuition is screaming at me. So this, oh, actually we have two. Okay, excuse me. So we have two cards. Surprise, surprise. So this, makes it even more clear. So we have the Emperor, and then we have the Ace of Pentacles, with this card of like either travel or going into a new phase or new area of your life, whether it be physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. But here I see that it's going to be financial. So I think maybe this, obviously, if you look at the two cards, it's clear that there's going to be like a promotion, or maybe you're going to get like more financial responsibility, financial power, because Emperor, Ace of Pentacles, you're going to be maybe moving into a more lucrative place, whether it be like maybe switching roles, I think, in some way, switching departments, switching roles, switching, or maybe even like a little promotion, or getting just more responsibilities, I see, that lead to more power and more money, more financial success. So what I'm getting really is more power, more financial success, and more just success in general, that leads to lucrative finances at the end of the year, which is fantastic. So